Let's welcome in the D-Man, Dennis-Manoloff. D-Man, appreciate the time. Let's begin your alma mater tonight, hosting the Ohio State Buckeyes. Buckeyes, a 27.5-point favorite. Who do you like in this one?
Well, of course, I like the Buckeyes to win outright, but that's too many points to give Pat Fitzgerald team, in my opinion, even as bad as the as the Wildcats have looked this year. That's just a few too many. So I would take Northwestern plus the points. I'll have the grass nice and high for that one, and they've had time to rest. Fitzgerald will have a few tricks up his sleeve. So Ohio State wins outright, but not by 27.5.
We'll move on to NFL action. Browns obviously on a bye this week, so let's take a look. We got the Giants at home giving 3 to Arizona. Who do you like in this one?
I like the Giants laying the 3. I thought they acquitted themselves okay against New England in Foxborough, even though it was a 21-point game. I like what I'm seeing from Daniel Jones and bits and pieces. Saquon Barkley's status up in the air. Even if he doesn't play, and I'm assuming that he won't for this game, it's kind of a 50-50 deal. But even if he doesn't, I like the Giants at home primarily because of Daniel Jones's progress, but also the Arizona-Cardinals coming east, having to play in the tricky weather at MetLife Stadium. And, the Cardinals are young and they're building, and yeah, they've won a couple of games, but I still think it's going to be difficult for them to travel all the way east. And at this stage in their development, try to topple the Giants.
We'll go to the AFC North. Cincinnati hosting Jacksonville. The Jaguars, a 3.5-point favorite on the road against the Bengals. And they traded away one of their best players in Jalen Ramsey to the Rams earlier this week. Who do you like?
I still like the Jaguars, laying the points because they're such a better team. I mean, they're a better team even without Jalen Ramsey. Top to bottom, that roster is so much preferable to the Cincinnati Bengals, especially a Bengals team that's banged up, and we're learning about the injuries in their secondary this week that might keep their starting cornerbacks out or at the very least hobbled. So I think Gardner Minshew II is going to have opportunities, but I'm primarily making this pick because I think Jacksonville's defense will, dictate the terms to the Cincinnati offense. And I just think Jacksonville is, I would say, a touchdown better than Cincinnati, no matter where they play.
We'll move on. And another road favorite, the 49ers, who have looked pretty good. We saw the beatdown they put on the Browns on Monday night a couple weeks ago. They are on the road against the Redskins, who won the Awful Bowl last week, defeating Miami. Who do you like in this one? 49ers, a 9.5-point favorite on the road against the Redskins.
Yeah, you caught me at a time where I was back and forth for a while on this, and now I am going with the 49ers laying the points primarily because I did a lot of research before this hit and for my published picks as well about Kyle Shanahan going back to Washington. He didn't have very flattering things to say about his time there when he was the OC. You get the feeling that he really didn't like working for Daniel Snyder. So Kyle Shanahan, or primarily he didn't like the way his dad was treated. So this is Kyle Shanahan's opportunity to stick it to the Redskins, and I don't think he's going to pass on that opportunity. He will try to run up the score if he can. So that's where I'm getting it from. Again, Shanahan didn't say it, expressly. He didn't say it flat out, but it didn't take too much reading between the lines to figure out that he's going to have his team jacked up for this game. So, and the Niners are so much better than the Redskins anyway that I'm going to lay the points.
I believe his phrase was, "I've put the dysfunction of Washington behind me." So, yeah, it wasn't very flattering. So, New Orleans going to Chicago. The Bears 3.5 favorites at home, as Chicago hosting the Saints. Bears 3-point favorites at Soldier Field. Who do you like in this one?
Well, this is another case where I'm investing in one side of the football, and that is the Bears defense against the New Orleans offense. The New Orleans offense with Teddy Two Gloves, Teddy Bridgewater, has done a terrific job subbing for the injured Drew Brees. He's 4-0 as a starter since Brees went down in week 2 against the Rams. So, yes, I respect Teddy Bridgewater, but I think it's going to be tough for the Saints, who are used to playing in climate-controlled conditions, to come up to Soldier Field and play in the outdoors against that defense. So I think Bridgewater will struggle, and as a result, I've got the Bears winning by a touchdown.
D-Man, we appreciate it. You can see more of his picks, cleveland.com, and we appreciate the little sampling here on More Sports and Less Levine, the Weekend Winners Edition. Dennis Manoloff with the picks. Look for him in the pages of the Plain Dealer and cleveland.com this weekend as well. As always, we appreciate the time, D-Man.